Welcome to E-Ticket to Broadway, where Broadway meets Main Street. Here's your host, my pal, David Alpert.
Hey everyone, welcome to this extra magic hour of E-Ticket to Broadway. I'm your host, David Alpert. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. This is going to be super fun and silly, and we're going to celebrate Disneyland's 65th. It's going to be great. I know that we're not able to be at the parks, nor should we right now because of the pandemic. So hopefully this feels like you're there. You're at the parks, you've got your friends, you've got your families, and you've got these bad boys. So feel free, please be wearing these. It's really great. This is our first ever live show, and we've got some incredible guests, some Broadway stars, a former Imagineer. It's really awesome. And we're going to continue to release new episodes each Wednesday, including tomorrow morning. My childhood friend Kate Reinders from High School Musical, this series, and a Broadway star. She's coming up tomorrow morning. So in addition to celebrating Disneyland's 65th, we are also going to be raising money and awareness for Gilana's Fund, which is a cause very dear to my heart, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. We just hit a very milestone number we're excited about. That way you can kind of see what's coming up, who's coming up, some fun photos, and take part in some of our games, including the Tweedledee or Tweedledum polls. Today's was, what do you like better, Smuggler's Run or Star Tours? And as of right now, we have 31 votes for Star Tours, 21 for Smuggler's Run. Can't beat a classic. So thank you all for voting for that. So I cannot wait any longer to bring on our first guest. Her episode dropped just a few weeks ago, and the reviews were amazing. One listener said, "What is happening?" And another listener said, "Wow, they giggled a lot." From Broadway's Matilda, please welcome Olivier Award-winner Lesli Margherita. I can already hear you giggling over your intro music.
What is happening?
Yeah, right?
You wrote those reviews. You wrote those, didn't you?
I did write those reviews.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, there was a lot of what is happening.
Hi.
Everyone, look, it is the queen herself. Please let us know, who are you wearing tonight?
Well, I'm wearing a Star Wars Death Star, my happy place, and a Star Wars Rebel hat, and I've got Mickey Diamond earrings. Ooh. I'm in LA, and all my Disney stuff is in New York, so this was all I could get together.
What's funny is like I don't have any Disney stuff.
None.
So
look at I mean, none.
Yeah, none whatsoever. So Leslie, your episode was really great. So many people respond. They loved that you went to UCLA specifically so that you could work and sing and dance at the parks.
Correct.
Was that decision ever frowned upon by anyone?
Oh my gosh, never. Are you kidding? My parents thought it was great. They knew it was gonna, if you're gonna have a job in college, that's the dream job. I've grown up wanting to do those shows. So that was a huge, huge deciding factor in where I went to school. And I was so lucky to work there all through college and afterwards. It was the best time.
I'm sure they were excited for the free passes, the discount on merch.
My parents came to I did the Rose Parade. My parents came to that. They did they were always at the park. So yeah.
What's funny is if I can find it, I found this photo when I saw you at the parks. And if you listen to the episode, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I found this and I just thought it was really great.
Evil hag.
There it is. We actually have some photos that we wanted to share of you in the parks, and they're all PC, I promise. So let's look at that first photo. Let's bring that. Oh, there she is.
Oh yeah, there she is.
Talk us through that moment, that smile.
Yeah. I played all the brown-haired princesses, and Belle was always the best one because of that ball gown. But look at the amount of makeup. I believe I'm 19 there. Yeah. That is, I don't know, that's a huge amount of makeup. But that is kind of what they gave you, like a bag of makeup and what you had to look like. So there it was. Yeah, I much preferred the yellow ball gown, though, over the blue and white beginning.
And that was in one of the shows?
Yeah, I actually think that I think that was actually at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood that they
fancy
did.
pants.
We would do like 10 shows a day in front of the movies, and they were 20-minute shows. So I think that was from that.
It's great. Let's look at that next photo, which is very exciting. Oh, look.
Oh,
it's
look
you
at
and Mickey
that.
Mouse.
It's me and
What?
Mickey.
So that looks a little more like you.
Yes,
Your hair is
that
down.
does. My hair is down.
Is that what
Yeah.
what is that from?
I believe that is a special event, which they would do a lot for companies and things. And they were either at the Disneyland Hotel or it would be after hours. So that is either at the Disneyland Hotel or in front of the castle. I wore that costume a lot. They would create shows, special shows for different companies and things. So that was definitely, I think that might have been in front of the castle, which was the best because you rehearsed at night when no one was in the park. And so you got to walk around and it was the coolest, the best.
I love that. Let's look at that final slide of Leslie performing. There it is. That is.
You can't even see it. Oh, it's too bad we couldn't get the video to run. Yeah, it's
it's there. But in the green dress.
That's
Toontown Spin Around.
That's Toontown Spin Around. For the opening of Toontown, again, I was a young teen. I did a television special. I think it was like a Thanksgiving parade or something, but it was the opening of Roger Rabbit's Toontown Spin Around, and I did a whole song and dance.
It's really great.
About Toontown. It's actually really, really cute. Yeah, I loved it. I got to do tons of their TV specials too, which was super fun.
And those of us that listened to the interview and participated, Goofy and Pluto, not big fans of the Disney dogs.
No, I'm just not. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, how did you navigate Toontown Spin Around with Goofy literally, dancing with you?
Well, I'm such a massive Roger Rabbit fan, so that kind of that I just had to focus on that. I know. I don't mind Pluto so much. It's just Goofy. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. Never have been. Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear more about dogs from our next guest. We're going to bring him out. He made headlines when he starred on Broadway as Evan Hansen at the age of 16, and he has a Disney room in his house. Please welcome Jimmy Awards winner Andrew Barth Feldman.
Yay!
Oh,
it's me again.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Andrew, I'm so happy you're here. Talk us through what we can see, starting with what you're wearing, what's on the desk in front of you.
So in this, your view right now, because this is a big room with lots of stuff. In front of me, I've moved this from other parts of the room. Here we have the pirate with the pigs from Pirates of the Caribbean. Hatbox Ghost can only be found in Disneyland right now. This is. I didn't think I could do Spirit jerseys, and then I was like, I just bit the bullet, and it was like all I wore in March. I just wore, and then these were gifted from a fan. I think her name was Sydney. She gave me these, and I love them so much. And then behind me, this is the Fantasyland wall. So we have a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride poster, Snow White's Scary Adventures, and It's a Small World, and then a bunch of Vinylmations and knickknacks. There's a stretching room guy that I also moved from over there. Yeah, this is what I've done with my life.
Is that an Evan Hansen Mickey Mouse ears?
These are Evan Hansen Mickey Mouse ears.
Oh, come on.
I know.
That's cool.
I know.
Good job, fan.
I know.
This is the merch that E-Ticket to Broadway has to create.
Yeah. There's one other thing that I've done with this room that I think you'll like. Is there a particular land what's your favorite land, David?
I would say Fantasyland.
Okay, Alexa, take me to Fantasyland. God damn it. It always works. Alexa, take me to Fantasyland. Yes. Okay. Hey. This is what I do. This is what I spend my time doing during quarantine. Alexa, stop. I'll just stick with these for a little bit. I think these are fun.
It's the Dark Ride Suite.
She's really not. Yes, the Dark Ride Suite. Alexa, stop the music. Jeez.
You cannot stop the Disney magic.
Is she really not going to stop it? I'll be back. Hang on.
Leslie, do you own any Spirit jerseys? Which ones?
I don't. No.
Oh, you don't? Oh, those. They said yes.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't have the spirit jerseys. No.
I wanted to get the Disneyland one, but for it, the font falls onto the arms
Yeah,
in a weird way.
that's a
for
weird
Disneyland.
one.
I can't
That's
do
a
it.
strange one.
And I want to.
Yeah, I don't have them.
I would give a lot of money to Disney if they fixed that. So Andrew, you, unlike Leslie and I, you have gone on Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
And you loved it. But
Yes.
Leslie and I don't want to know anything about it, so that's the end of that
Nothing.
conversation.
Great
Done.
conversation.
Yeah,
Nothing.
really fun.
Good,
So this
good.
actually, we have a Patreon where some of our supporters are able to support the podcast, and also give some of that money to Gilana's fund to help, that we'll talk about. But one of our supporters, Jeff, asks a question that we want to go for.
Oh.
Jeff asks, "What ride scared you as a child, and why was it the Snow White ride?" Just kidding. He didn't say the Snow White ride. That's me. He just wants to know. He just wants to know what ride scared you when you were a kid, because he shared that when he was in the stretching room at 6 years old, he was losing it. So
Yeah.
what ride scared you as a kid?
I mean, surely the Haunted Mansion. You know, like the graveyard scene, all that stuff popping out. Like that was maybe the only ride that I was truly like frightened of. Maybe.
I think like in the stretching room, the man in the ceiling.
The man hanging himself.
Yeah,
That's intense.
Okay, nobody ever talks about how the Haunted Mansion is a ride about you, the rider, committing suicide. Nobody discusses this.
It's really dark.
It's
What
dark.
it is.
Let's just take my mouse ears off if this is where this is going.
I-
Leslie, what about you? Were
Very
you
upsetting.
scared with Haunted Mansion?
You know, it's so funny. When I was 8, I got stuck in the Haunted Mansion with my sister, and she said that I just kept going, ha, it's fake, ha, it's fine, it's all great, it's all great. But I guess I was about to poop my pants. So it was Haunted Mansion as well. And it was in the room, because I do remember it was right as you tilt back and you see the crow and all the ghosts are going, and that's where I was stuck. That crow was staring at me, and
That's
all
the
the
worst place.
the worst. So
Yeah,
but
that's
I love
intense.
that ride now. So it didn't scar me, but that was what I was afraid
I think
of.
to this day, it's not the thematic natures that scare me. It's the popping of the ghosts in the attic and in the graveyard. I don't like the boo-ah. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's anxiety.
that was my issue when I was younger. I now am.
Yeah.
I've come to terms with it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
And
ride.
I think the Snow White ride has gotten scarier the older I get.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
It's Leslie, are you with us? Oh, you
Yes.
froze for a second. I thought that
Yes, I
queen
might.
had taken you.
I have the worst. No, I did. I froze. My screen froze. My evil
No.
hag.
When she turns
Evil
around,
hag.
when she
no,
turns
my
around,
internet was freezing.
when she turns around, I literally am scared. I jump every time.
Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
it's coming
and you
every
know it's
time.
coming. Yeah.
Every
It's a
time.
lot. So were there other rides that were scary? I mean, Mr. Toad, You're in Hell, but that's more confusing.
I appreciated Mr.
That was
Toad.
more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Oh, you know, Alice in Wonderland kind of scared me.
Oh.
Well, Matterhorn as a kid. Totally.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The Yeti's scary. Yeah.
Yeti. Yeah, that was a definite.
Expedition Everest still scares me. Expedition Everest still scares me.
That's my favorite.
I love it,
I
but you're
love it.
so
So
close to that guy, and I wish
Yeah.
he'd move. But that's a
Yeah.
different story.
Yeah. But we were talking
the
about New
happiest place on
Matterhorn.
earth. Yeah,
New Matterhorn Yeti is
that's terrifying.
Scary.
Way scarier than the one from before. He's
Yeah,
so
totally.
scary.
And like in the wall, remember the
Yeah.
old one? It was kind of, but the new one like swipes his arm at you, and you're
Totally.
like, it's bad. It's really. So speaking of going on rides, Andrew, I know you love a good on-ride photo.
Yes, I do.
And we just want to talk through some of those. So let's just throw up some of these visuals. Oh, there he is.
Okay. So I have been a galactic hero many a time, and so you can tell that I'm not there yet. And by the time this photo's been taken, and I probably didn't get there. But I get really intense on that ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm riding
I'm gonna
alone.
give
But
it-
I don't let people ride with me. I don't let anyone ride with me because I don't want people taking advantage of where I'm spinning it.
But then you can like you see them aiming, and then you can spin it and throw them off.
Sure, that's true too. That is true.
I
And
call that
whenever
No, I said I
Whenever-
call that the Toontown spin around.
Oh yeah. Whenever it's demanded of me that I have to ride with someone, I do that. But I really prefer not to, and it bugs my family. But like my family, we have a real rivalry about it.
You know, I didn't think there was much of a method. Shout out to my friend Danny if he's listening. Is always placing like at the top, and he's like, "There's a method," but I'm not great.
Yeah, it's actually
like if it's flashing and
it's in Disneyland, it's a lot easier, like because it's based on the shapes. So depending on the shape of the target is how many points you get, which is cool. But in World, it's all circles, so you just have to know which ones are the high point ones.
Right. Let us, but also, I'm so sorry. Thank you for mentioning that Disneyland is so much better. Can we show up the next slide? Oh, how tender.
Yeah. That's our prom photo. That's my brother.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And let's actually show the next one because this is a Broadway over there. We go.
Yeah. That one's called That's Showbiz, baby. That's what that one's called.
Well, I can tell from your eyes. I really can.
Yeah.
Do we know the person in front of you two? Can we go back to that slide? Do we know this person?
No, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
So she got lucky. She's got that photo now.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and see this next one, which is classic.
That's my favorite one.
There you are in the front. Yeah.
What are you doing?
That's a perfect photo. I was just kind of like making a face, and then I didn't know there was a whole like beautiful play going on behind me. Like they really.
Look at the
Is
back.
that Leslie with her arms up in second position?
Yeah, that's Leslie. That's definitely Leslie. I just think every single person is telling their own story right here.
Absolutely.
Like it's perfect. It's a perfect ride photo.
You know what's funny? And I wish that at Disney, this is falling off. I wish that Splash at Disneyland, they can do the two-seater.
Right.
They don't. It's only in the back and land. But I'm very excited for the changes. It's going to be awesome.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna
really
be
excited.
great. It's going to be great.
Let's look at the next one. So there's are those thumbs up? Are they finger guns? What's happening?
That's such a good question. I think it's a thumbs up. I think we didn't we were on the ride literally being like, wait, what are we gonna do? And we didn't decide. So we just kind of did this. And that was what we went with. I think it worked.
I mean, that's the question. Do you prep in advance?
Yes.
Like, do you say this yes, we prep in advance.
Usually it's sort of half and half that we'll get on the ride and be like, what do we do? Prom photo, great. Or it'll be like, what do we do? And then we get on the ride and we're like, we have no idea what to do. And then we get to the photo and we have to make something up.
Yeah.
But usually we decide when we get on the ride.
It's helpful if the person knows when it is, because I'm the one on Space Mountain screaming it's now,
Yeah, that's what's great about me and my brothers. We know where all the we just know, we remember.
We just know. You just have to know.
Just know.
The one on the Incredicoaster took me a while, and Radiator Racers, I'm literally screaming because they want to fall.
Yeah.
I think that's the only. What am I missing? Are there other on-ride photos? Buzz.
I don't worry about that one. I don't worry about Test Track. Usually.
Do you worry about Frozen?
No, the test track one. No.
Yeah. The answer is yes. So that's my brother Matt, who I do think is watching now, and because we are too these are 50% of all of our conversations are about the Disney parks, and he once went to Disney World by himself because he got stuck in Florida, his flight got canceled or something, and his Facebook profile photo is him in the front row of Frozen Ever After by himself, and behind him are a bunch of children and families and he's just loving it.
Where do they take that photo? I haven't been on the Frozen ride. I went on Maelstrom, but
it's at the drop.
Maelstrom.
It's at the drop. So you've gone backwards, and now you're not going backwards anymore, and then there's the drop.
Insider tip for those of you watching. It's not a tip. There's an episode that will be released with Elsa herself, who shared in some podcast that they actually recorded specifically for the ride.
Oh wow!
That some of the vocal is not. It's not just taken from the filming of the movie. Or filming,
that makes sense.
The movie wasn't filmed per se. So it's. I went through some of my archives to share some. This is my first time on Space Mountain. I want you to pay attention to the white knuckles.
Oh my God, David.
with with my sisters Elise and Gilana in the back. But first time, I'm pale, but those knuckles are a whole other level.
Yeah, that just looks like part of the ride. Like that doesn't look like it could belong to a real person. That's amazing.
That was 2001. Andrew, were you born yet?
I was born in 2002.
Wow.
So the answer is no.
Wow. This other one I found is from an international park, Tokyo Disney Sea in 2011. I want you to look for the two kids from Michigan, if you can see it.
That's awesome.
I really want to go there. It looks so great.
It's really beautiful. But we only knew what the photo was because the people next to us were holding the peace sign and saying like right here. And we were like, okay. It was super awesome and fun.
Tokyo Disney Sea is like my promised land. Like I will not be complete until I get there. Truly.
Have you watched those videos of the ride? Like people's videos of the rides?
Yeah.
Like, did you go through? Yeah, they're amazing.
So my brother has been. He went, and I didn't get to go because I was doing the Dear Evan Hansen thing, and he's like, "Yeah, it's the best one. It's the best one." I gotta go.
I'm excited for Shanghai. Shanghai's got some really cool.
Me too.
Things.
I'm happy we're getting Prom though. I'm really excited about Prom.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Well, everyone, it is time for a game. So let's get ready to play this first game. Go ahead and this music is so magical. I can't. Really, shout out to Alex Parrish. Just it really. I'm like taken aback. I'm like, is the parade coming? You know, like, oh, no, I have to speak. So we're gonna play Disney Password. You'll each see what the password is on the screen, right? Leslie and Andrew, you've been able to see the slides. I know you can. Yes, Leslie giggle. When I say what it's going to be, the other person, I'll talk you through this. You must close your eyes to keep the magic alive because we're not that high tech here.
Oh wow.
But I'll talk you through it, I promise. Leslie has gone through many a game night with me at BroadwayCon. I've put her through worse.
A lot
for you. I also have directed her and put her in a box. Anyway, so here is password. The rules are you only can say one word to get the other person to guess what the password is. And if they don't guess it, you can say another one-word clue. Okay. If it takes more than 5 clues, it's done. There's no point. So, for example, if the password is Ariel, you might say mermaid.
Sure.
And if they don't get it, they might say fish. You'd be like ginger. And then you might say feet, right? When you get it right, you will hear. Because I actually own this.
That's the best.
So here's the deal. You're on the same team. And we're actually all on the same team. We're all in this together. So points don't matter. This is all about having fun. So Andrew, you're going to guess first. So I need Andrew, you to close your eyes and we're going to show everyone what the password is. Leslie, that's the password.
Okay.
Okay, Andrew, you can open your eyes and Leslie's going to give you one word to guess it. Go ahead, Leslie.
Mickey
Mouse.
You did it! Well done.
Round.
Good job. Nice vocal inflection, Leslie. Someone's an Olivier Award winner.
Mickey.
Oh gosh, you actually woke my cat up. That was exciting.
Oh, Henry.
Oh, it is Henry. Yep, there's a shout out. Okay, Leslie, go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
Andrew, the password is.
Okay,
Leslie, open your eyes.
Okay.
Andrew, go ahead.
mansion.
Haunted.
Well done.
Great. We're doing such a good job.
Usually in the podcast, I can use cool sound effects, and this.
That's good. That works.
How about Leslie's amazing job at Yas Queen? Come on.
Yas. Yeah.
Andrew, go ahead and close your eyes. Okay. And leave them closed until I tell you. Here, Leslie, this is your password. Andrew, open your eyes. Go ahead.
Mountain.
Space?
train.
Like thunder? Oh, it's thunder? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Should have
thunder.
said that. I mean, should have, but
No, that was
worked.
great.
That worked.
That was totally great.
I
You
was
could have
about
said
to say
goat.
goat.
Dynamite. Yes.
I was gonna say goat.
You should have said goat.
Like
Goat would be good.
wilderness.
Goat. Yeah.
Wildest.
Wildest?
Oh, yeah.
That was thrilling, you two. That's all the time we have. No, just kidding. Leslie, go ahead and
I get
close
one
your
more?
eyes. I'll tell
Okay.
you when to reopen. Oh, we get a few more.
Okay, great.
Andrew, Andrew, this is your password.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Okay, we are swearing. Okay, Leslie, go ahead and open your
Sorry.
eyes.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
It's fine.
Cinnamon.
Oh. Well, bun.
Oh. Stick.
Churro.
Yeah.
I must. Every clue that you're giving, I'm immediately like, yes, that's what I would say. So that's very exciting. We are doing 10 of these total. So like, hold on to your butts. Go ahead and Andrew, close your eyes. Leslie, your password is. Okay, Andrew, open your eyes.
Okay.
Dwarf.
7.
Tired.
Sleepy? Okay. Great.
Good job.
Great.
I don't know. One password would have gotten that one.
Yeah. That one's hard.
I mean, I might have done okay. I'm surprised, Leslie, you didn't know, considering.
Yeah. Well, tag.
Okay, Leslie, close your eyes.
Okay.
I'm very excited about this one. This one's really on brand. Andrew, your password is this.
Oh, okay. Great.
Leslie, open your eyes.
Okay.
Winnie.
The Pooh.
Yeah.
It was just Pooh.
Oh.
The pool?
The Pooh.
The Pooh?
That is his full name. Is The Pooh.
You're right.
He's
You're
Winnie
right.
yeah. I've always had questions about that. Because,
Like, is his middle name the?
No,
oh, well,
he's
it's because they
a
call him
Pooh.
Pooh for short, but isn't Pooh like his species? Because he's like Winnie.
He's a
Pooh
Pooh bear.
bear.
Yeah.
So that's what I don't really, you know.
Well,
Not that it matters all that much.
Alan wants to say it's hyphenated. The hyphen Pooh.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm not sure. Let's talk more about Pooh.
no.
Go ahead, Andrew. Close your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Leslie, your password is.
Oh.
Andrew, open your eyes.
Okay.
Floats.
Parade.
That was exciting. I want to point out that the last two clues were Pooh Parade.
No, that's my career.
yeah. Leslie, close your eyes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
There's your password, Andrew.
Um.
Leslie, open your eyes.
Okay.
I hope this is fun for everyone.
It is. It is. I feel like I can really get this in one, and I want to try. Okay.
He just
I'm just
says
gonna-
the word.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try it. Return. Okay, that's fine.
Wait.
Andrew, lean closer. Andrew, closer. Thank you.
Oh. All I say is of the Jedi.
Oh yeah!
I was like, there's no
I
way
knew it.
that would be that.
I knew it. I knew
It was
it. I knew it.
Jedi. I thought you might go like in the fast pass lane, but he
I
really
went.
was.
Yeah.
I
Good.
Yes,
Ooh,
that was
that was
awesome.
exciting.
I feel so good.
We've got two more.
Okay.
Andrew, go ahead and close your eyes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me. No.
Leslie, that's your password. Andrew, open your eyes.
Okay.
Disney.
World.
Creator.
Walt.
There we go. Good job.
That should have been my first guess, probably.
You two are doing very well. I just
Doing
want
really
you to
well.
Killing it, Leslie.
consider
Killing it.
maybe this is a stronger career choice than theater.
It might be right now.
Just trying to get
Yes.
each other to say Disney things.
You're both incredible performers, but I mean, this is thrilling. Okay, Leslie, close your eyes for the
Okay.
final one.
Uh-huh.
No pressure, but you've done
pressure.
very well. Andrew, this is your password.
Okay. Oh God.
Leslie, open your eyes.
Okay.
That is so hard. I think. I'm
Lots of confidence going into this.
just gonna say land.
Frontier.
Okay. Castle.
Fantasy.
Yes.
Well done, you two.
Nice.
Very
I was
excited.
trying to think of any ride in Fantasyland that has
Yeah.
only one word. I could have said like Toad, I guess. I don't know.
Teacups,
But then I would've
Matterhorn,
That's
Dumbo.
Oh.
those all work. Yeah.
No, but I wouldn't. I would have been like,
You guys,
Elephant.
you got that in 2 guesses. That was incredible. And the fact that, Leslie, you went to like Frontier right away. Well done, both of you. Before we play our next game, we must discuss what's happening on Friday. The OG theme park is turning 65.
oh,
Very exciting. Happy almost birthday, Disneyland. Leslie, how many times do you think you've been to Disneyland as a guest?
Oh, as a guest? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like twice.
so I can't even, probably 100.
Were you ever an annual pass holder?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you did it.
Yes, I did. Yeah. No,
I mean, I only got
I've
to
been
go
an annual
maybe-
pass holder for a long time.
I think I only went once or twice a year as a kid. There's actually, I'll put on the Instagram page too. My mom found, who's I think watching, I've been looking for this for years. The earliest photo of me at the parks, and it's when I was 5 months old, right by
Oh.
Tomorrowland Terrace. So I've gone quite a few times. And have you been there or worked there for any of the birthdays?
50.
You were there for that was my summer of working there, which
50.
we can actually.
For 50.
I was also there for 50. We're gonna
maybe 45. I think was the first. Maybe 45.
maybe.
Yeah.
Andrew, had you been to Disneyland? When was your first trip to Disneyland? Was recent, right?
No, I don't really remember because we used to go to like when my dad would go when my dad would go for like business to California or something, we'd go to Disneyland for
You would go.
for a couple days. So yeah, I went when I was little. My first time, I don't mean to show you up, David, but my first
Go
time in
for it.
Disney World was when I was 2 months old.
Ooh. And you haven't aged a month since.
I haven't. I
You
that
really
I stayed
haven't.
that way. I stayed that way. That's right.
Do you remember
I
anything
was-
from your first trip?
I was young too.
There are home videos of me sleeping quite a bit in a stroller.
It's funny, like to think back to that, that opening day that was literally a hot mess, and how it's gone. Like 65 years later, here we are, and it's still this beacon of happiness. If you both were there on July 17th, 1955, what do you think would have been the most exciting thing for you? Yes, you both gave the perfect reaction at the same time.
I mean, I imagine it was probably the same reaction I had when I went as a kid, like a fully formed kid, because I was a few months old as well the first time I went. But I imagine it was just like overwhelming. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have probably
I mean-
just thought the future. This is like,
Yeah.
oh man. I
You're
don't
both
know.
speechless,
I
kind of.
know.
I think-
Go ahead, Andrew.
No, I think for me, and what always fascinated me about Disney when I was younger and still does, is the chance to step into the stories that you love so much that was not a thing that existed. So like, I think
Right.
I would have been so enamored with that the
Mhm.
same way I was when I went and when I still go,
Yeah. I just think like the castle, like the photos of the kids running through the drawbridge when it first opened. But also like, yeah, you think like some of those Fantasyland rides were original day attractions. But also this idea that you were truly in a theme park, not just stepping in these stores, but also just completely leaving Anaheim in Orange County. I have a photo to share in a second, but I got to work there for the 50th anniversary summer, and it was so cool. I remember on July 17th, 2005, they dedicated the cast member window at like 7 a.m. I got to go to, and then they replayed Walt's speech at the exact time. And it was so cool. And I'll show you this now. This is what I was wearing back in 2005 as an Autopia cast member.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Thinking, I'm so cool.
Oh, I love
That's amazing.
So if you went on the Autopia in 2005, I might have told you not to bump the car in front of you.
Oh, I love that.
They were giving out such cool merchandise, like a pin that said I worked there on July 17, 2005, and commemorative mouse ears and all this really fun stuff. Ruby, one of our Patreon supporters, asks, what would your perfect set of ears look like? These are deep, not dark. These are deep questions for you both. These are really exciting.
Mine are just completely bedazzled.
Oh, wow.
Hot
Yeah.
pink, completely like crystals.
That could not possibly surprise me less. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Andrew, what about you?
I mean, perfect. If we're talking like genuinely perfect, I want ones that smell like the ride that they're themed to.
Ooh. Like they like glow with show, but it's like smell with
dirty Pirates of the Caribbean water.
Like let's say you buy like Haunted Mansion ears, like it smells like the Haunted Mansion. You know, I think that's maybe my answer.
But isn't it funny when you're like walking around New York and you're like, this smells like Star Tours, you know? Like,
yeah.
That happens. I'm actually wearing, this is what I got when I went with my sisters when my dad was in a rabbinic conference, when they still used to like.
Oh, I used to love that.
It's my favorite pair, but it's been cool. Cool. So happy almost 65th Disneyland. Great. I want to quickly chat a little bit about Gilana's Fund before we launch into our next game. Gilana's Fund is benefiting from the Patreon page, and anything you can donate tonight if you'd like. Again, these are free events, but it's a cause that's very dear to my heart. It was created in 2007 after my oldest sister Gilana died from a rare reaction to medication, and the fund is a way to honor her and change the world. It's raised over $100,000 and has awarded over 40 grants to nonprofit organizations across the country who fight for acceptance and equality and justice and inclusion, something that I hope we're all very focused on right now in 2020. I want to share with you some of those recipients so you can just kind of see the scope of Gilana's Fund and what it's done. There you can see all the different organizations. Each year, I also produce and direct the Living for Today concert, which Leslie actually has been able to join me for, which is very kind. And part of, but because of the pandemic, of course, we're not going to be doing a benefit this year. So I'm hoping that through the Patreon, not only do you get cool perks, like asking questions on live recordings, but also we are donating some of that money to Gilana's Fund. So if you enjoy the podcast and making the world a better place, check out our website. And to learn more, you can go to gilanasfund.org. Right there. So Leslie and Andrew, thank you for donating your time tonight. I also want, Andrew has a fund as well for his mother that I mentioned that he but also wanted to share what that is.
Yeah, the Barth Feldman Performing Arts Center is something that's been in the works for a long time. My mom passed this almost a year ago now, this last August, and they are renaming and renovating the theater facilities at my high school. And like, it's a pre-K through 12 school, so like so many kids are going to get to go there and making a scholarship in her name, and it's going to be amazing. And so you can go to lawrencewoodmere.org/Barbara. That's BARBRA, like Streisand. To donate and make some amazing things happen, and when we're all back, you know, it's gonna happen, and I can't wait. Yeah, thank you.
That's great. And Leslie, thank you for donating your time to so many of these organizations through your talent, and it's really great. It's really cool. I'm happy that my Disney friends also want to make the world a better place. There's no good segue, so let's play the next slide.
Great.
could have tried.
Amazing.
I could have been like, my sister loved TV. There were TV shows like The Newlywed Game, but no. Shout out to Brittany and Alan just running the multimedia so efficiently.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very exciting. So I asked both of you to answer some questions for me, and it's time to ask your friend what they think you answered. It's like The Newlywed Game, but it's not like that at all. You two are not newlyweds. Everyone, I want to make that very clear.
No.
We're very good friends.
We're very good friends.
And this game, you two
grandma.
This game you actually can win, but the prize will be a round of applause from those listening. So it'll sound like this. Everyone listening, please give a round of applause.
Wow.
I
felt
like
it.
I felt it. It's like it's like you're in a silent production of Peter Pan and you're the dying Tinkerbell. That's what that is.
It's experimental.
So we're gonna go for this. So you each have some props in front of you that because of our quarantine, this could be wonderful or this could be my career just tanking right now. So Andrew, we asked Leslie, what is your favorite Disney villain? What do you think Leslie said?
I mean,
is your favorite villain?
I think she said Evil Queen / Evil Hag from Snow White.
Leslie, hold up. What did you say?
Oh,
Mother Gothel.
Mother Gothel.
Damn it! I'm so sorry.
Leslie,
no, Evil Queen. Evil Queen is number 2.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Evil Hag, but not the Hag version. The beautiful version.
Yeah. The one that stares down into our souls in Fantasyland. Very exciting.
Leslie, you'd be an amazing Mother Gothel. You would be.
I know, right? Yes.
It's like my dream. I really wish they would do it. Yeah,
You'd be amazing.
It'd be my dream.
Casting directors out there, this is what you must do.
This is what you must do. That would be amazing.
Andrew, we asked Leslie. Sorry. This is just, I always have these moments of like, wow, this is part of my career now. Andrew, we asked Leslie, which Muppet do you, Leslie, most relate to? What do you think she said?
Piggy.
Duh.
Yeah, duh. I watched Leslie when I went to see Emoji Land. I watched Leslie receive a piece of fan art of it was her character, but it was Miss Piggy like dancing on the pole.
It's amazing.
And just seeing Leslie's face was the most joy I could ever ask for.
Amazing.
There's that great photo of Miss Piggy with Leslie. Help me out. What's the name of? It was a sidekick you put on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's me holding Leslie's notes, and Miss Piggy is just like fabulous, and there's like a little Muppet in the background, like trying to hand her something. Like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I accidentally skipped, so we just did 2 of Leslie's answers, so it comes 2 of Andrew. Okay. So Leslie, we asked Andrew, what is your favorite ride in the Magic Kingdom? What do you think he said was his favorite ride?
Oh, a Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, that's right.
You did, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There it is, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. I listened.
That's my big one. That's my big one.
Yeah.
Good. So right now we're tied 1 for 1.
1 for 1.
Is that what sports people say? 1 for 1? 1 to 1?
Definitely not. I don't know.
1 all.
The only thing I know about sports right now is that some athletes are at Disney World.
Are at Disney World, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I know about sports. Leslie, we asked Andrew a similar question. Which Muppet do you, Andrew, most relate to? What do you think he said?
Oh.
You got it, Leslie.
It's tough. I'm gonna say Kermit.
That's a close
Scooter. I almost said Scooter. You know why I almost said Scooter too? Because like poor Scooter is always in Piggy's way, and like I almost said Scooter. Oh, see, should have went.
I think when the Muppets hit Broadway, there's another great idea of casting.
Yeah, let's do it.
I had a Scooter doll as a kid.
I love Scooter so much.
I love him too. I used to carry him around. Yeah. I love Scooter.
Andrew, we asked Leslie, if you could live in any Disney attraction, which attraction would you choose? What do you think she said? She could live in a Disney attraction.
See, I know my answer, and I'm wondering if it's also Leslie's. So I think I'm going to say Muppet Vision 3D, and I don't know if that's the answer, but
Leslie, what did you say?
Smuggler's Run, really?
Because then I could live in the Falcon.
That's smart. That's actually a great answer.
Either that, because if I lived in Muppet Vision, it's just like a few props and they wouldn't be there. But otherwise, then I get to live in the Falcon.
In the Millennium Falcon, that's really smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart. That's a really good answer.
Leslie, we asked Andrew, if you were a snack in the Disney parks, which snack would you be?
You're not going to get this answer, Leslie.
You're not going to get this answer. Just wave the white flag already.
There's so
What do you
many.
think he said? Yeah, well.
Chocolate banana.
That'd be great. See, my
What did
answer
you
was
say, Andrew?
those little bubbles in Satuli Canteen in Pandora. Because, don't knock it till you try it,
I have not had those. So
Really good.
Yeah.
The whole Satuli Canteen, is actually really good. I recommend it to those.
I
To the
think
viewers
I've
out
been
there.
there, but not the yeah.
It comes with some of the food. It's like it's a whole
Okay,
thing. But they're pretty good.
For those of you who have yet to listen to an episode of E-Ticket to Broadway, it's exactly like this. Truly. So get to listening. Andrew, we asked Leslie, which Broadway star most reminds her of Mickey Mouse? A Broadway star that
this is
most reminds her of
hard,
Mickey
David.
Mouse. I know. You two are pros at this. What do you think she said?
I don't know why I don't think this is your answer, but I don't know why Brooks Ashmanskis is stuck in my head.
That would have been a different
That would've
Mickey.
been funny.
Definitely a different kind of Mickey Mouse. No.
Leslie, who did you say? Because I thought this one was very appropriate.
Oh, yes, of course
Yes.
it's Rob
Rob
McClure.
Rob McClure.
He is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
As
like
a
personality,
person.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a really
Brooks.
great answer. Brooks Ashmanskis as Mickey Mouse.
Just Mickey by the castle,
We've got a few more. It's still 1-1. You're tied. You're tied for first, both of you.
Type her first. I don't think it's going to change.
I think it might. Leslie, we asked Andrew, who is your favorite character in Beauty and the Beast?
This might be your chance to get a leg up, but if it's a toss-up.
Lumiere.
He's a close second.
I would
It's
have guessed
LeFou.
Lumiere.
Oh, LeFou.
LeFou was one of the first roles I ever played.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even
love
think of them.
LeFou.
Yeah, that would have been.
Do you remember
them.
any of your lines, Andrew?
I remember, gosh, it disturbs me to see you guys on looking so down in the dumps. That was I played Mr. Bundles and Annie, and then I played LeFou in Beauty and the Beast Jr. And they let me, there was this, our director was kind of very hands-off. And again, I was 8, but he was you guys choreographed this little dance break in Gaston. And this was my first experience with doing any physical comedy because I had the idea, because he had a rifle, the guy playing Gaston. I had the idea that
I thought you meant the director.
I had the idea that I curl up in a ball and the guy playing Gaston mounts the rifle on my back. And that's what we did.
Very wise.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We don't promote gun violence, though.
No, definitely not. Only if
We
you're
don't
doing a
promote
bunch
guns.
of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Andrew, I was hoping you were going to say crazy old Maurice. He's always good for a laugh.
Oh yeah, crazy old
That's a great
Maurice.
one.
Great show.
Andrew, we asked Leslie. Sorry. This is really good. Which Disney song best describes her career?
Oh no!
What do you think she said for what Disney song best describes her career?
Oh my god!
And I'm going to let you know in advance. There was a tie.
There's a tie.
There's a tie.
Yeah.
My next one's a tie as well, actually.
Oh, yes, you're right.
I'm just kind of looking around my room right now and looking for any clues.
You're
I'm
so
gonna
worried
say-
about offending her, I know.
You know what? I'm gonna say Bear Band Serenade. I don't know why.
Some shows might have been. You never
That's
know.
mine. That's mine. Bear
No.
Band Serenade.
Leslie, what did you say?
It was a tie between Poor Unfortunate Souls and Hi Ho.
Yeah. And there's layers of understanding of those.
Layers.
What is she really saying? What is the subtext?
That's awesome.
Very
My
good.
other answer was gonna be Pirate's Life for me.
Yeah. Final one, Leslie. We asked Andrew what Broadway musical is most like a ride at Disneyland.
I also had two answers.
And these, Leslie, just like yours, the answers to this are just why you're both on this live episode.
Yeah.
Which Broadway musical is most like a ride?
Like a ride at Disneyland, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Is that your final answer?
I'll never get this. I mean,
No, but I'd love to hear what you think.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, what?
Right. That was.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's very Haunted Mansion Part 2.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
It's a good answer.
I did almost put that.
Oh, I don't know. No.
That was great.
Andrew, why don't you
Should I-
share with us? Andrew,
my
go
first
ahead.
one?
He said
Is that Starlight Express
Totally.
is like rocket rods,
Totally.
1,000% that's accurate.
Yeah.
and that Hamilton is like Peter Pan's flight because you have to wait forever, and you're like pissed about it, but then it happens, and you're like, yeah, okay, you know. Those are my
Good.
That
answers.
was,
That's good.
though, Andrew, Starlight Express like rocket rods, there's nothing better. I don't.
Thank you.
It's
I
a
appreciate
solid.
that.
So the final tally is you both won. Here comes your prize. Everyone's applauding at home.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
For the two of you still watching. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
So we're going to bring on our special guest. Very excited about. So this woman is a 4-time Tony-winning Broadway producer and an Emmy Award-winning director, producer, and writer of film and television. She has produced many Broadway shows, including Legally Blonde, Thoroughly Modern Millie, and The Prom, and is also the co-founder and CEO of the Broadway Podcast Network, which we are enjoying their platform right now. Additionally, she's partnered with the genius illustrator Justin Squiggs Robertson on the creation of the Lights of Broadway trading cards. You can go to lightsofbroadway.nyc. Finally, and where I'm sure our conversation will lead, she is a former Imagineer for the Walt Disney Company with many exciting credits, including producing Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D. Please welcome Dori Berinstein.
Yay.
Yay!
Hi, Dori.
Hi, Dori.
there. Good to see you.
Look at your cast member pin. You are ready for us. Your name tag. Love it.
Oh my gosh.
Dori,
Yes,
we haven't had a chance to really talk about this. Did you go to the parks a lot as a kid?
I lived in Los Angeles. I went there.
So, yeah. Oh, he's there right now. Come back.
Oh no! Oh,
There
she's
you
back.
go.
She's back. She's back. Okay. great.
Magic.
Magic.
I was every birthday party. I was there forever.
And did you ever dream of becoming an Imagineer?
I dreamt it. I never thought it would happen. I was,
Well, you know, if you dream it, you can do it.
yeah.
Oh,
Dori, what was your favorite ride as a kid?
Well, I know if I was a kid now, I would be obsessed with the Buzz Lightyear ride.
mm,
You know,
Sure.
I just love that.
Yeah.
As a kid, yeah, I think I was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I loved. I loved Space Mountain, the submarines.
yeah.
Oh, the submarines.
That was
Loved
very
it.
transporting.
And so what was it like? How did you fall into becoming an Imagineer?
I really seriously dreamed of working at the Disney parks one day, and I didn't have the talent that Leslie had to be a princess. Didn't look good in those gowns, so I was already in the film business, and I had the opportunity to do all sorts of things with different companies, but I was offered a job at Imagineering where I was able to do not just produce the films for the parks, but also work with the Imagineers and all the interactivity, Statler and Waldorf, and the incredible talent that was at Imagineer. So it was brought everything together, all the different elements, the song, the dance, the theatricality, and the film, and pushing the envelope on the film. So it was CG and CGI and 3D and everything they could throw at it. The only rule was it had to be entirely original. You couldn't do anything that had ever been done before. And that to me was thrilling.
And what was it like getting to go on Muppet Vision 3D with guests for the first time?
Well, the honest truth, it was unbelievably emotional on a lot of levels because we lost Jim Henson while we were making Muppet Vision. And so that was, it was pure joy and heartbreak at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. It's great though that, he has that lasting legacy and you do as well, that you can bring joy through the Muppets to kids that weren't alive when he was, which is I think kind of the magic of Disney. We actually have some photos that you've shared that I want to share with everyone of you at your time. So talk to us. There you are holding the clapper for Muppet Vision 3D.
My team in Imagineering. Yep.
And you worked with Mickey. That's so cool.
That's right.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. It was magical.
Cool.
What a loss.
Yeah.
Wow! Dr. Butts and Honeydew!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was very close with Bunsen Honeydew.
So Dori, you have two very big Disney parks and Muppet fans with us. I would love, Leslie and Andrew, this is your chance to ask an Imagineer, you're both, what questions might you have for Dori?
What questions don't we have
What
for Dori?
questions
Is
don't
like,
we have?
no, I guess.
Or what do you want to say?
Let me say this. It is not an understatement for me to say that I think like 60% of the things that come out of my mouth are Muppet Vision quotes. Like actually, like it'll just be like, let's go. Okay. Like of that one part of Bean Bunny and Waldo, which you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But I just have fish from the pre-show. Like, that's like all we do. It is so important to me and my family. And I have the Statler and Waldorf stuffed animals that you have behind you. So just like working on that and working with Jim Henson, and then like, I guess like, what was that like? Was that the first thing that you'd worked on or with Disney, or like, was it just, what was that? Like, I guess. Oh
No, she's good. I think Dori's just checking on something. She's good.
It was amazing because I had the deepest respect for him. And I have to say that just watching him work and the entire Muppet family, the whole team, because it was all the original Muppets. It was Frank Oz, it was everybody, Steve Whitmire and David Goles. And so I was very self-aware of how fortunate I was to be able to be with these people and to watch them work. It was an incredible gift. And I think the two highlights, I knew the whole thing was a highlight, but the two things that were meant the most to me is at Disney at the time, you were encouraged, believe it or not, to go have lunch with people, your colleagues, and on Disney. They would pay for it. And so I was working closely with Rob Minkoff, who directed Lion King, and we'd go out to lunch all the time. And so I would go out to lunch with Jim Henson, and it would be, the entire lunch would be dreaming. It would be about imagining what could be, and if what could we create that doesn't exist. And that was the lunch every time. And when we lost Jim, it was just like all these amazing things that were bursting out of him that won't ever happen, so, but that was just like such a thrilling moment in my life. And I know it inspired me endlessly, always. I'm constantly thinking about that. And I'd say the other highlight of Muppet Vision was getting to be a penguin in Muppet Vision, and not just be a puppeteer, but I don't even remember what the vocal was, but I got to be a penguin. It was just so exciting.
It's the best.
Wow.
Yeah, it was thrilling.
Wow.
What's more exciting, being a penguin or winning a Tony Award?
Penguin.
Penguin?
Yeah, duh, of course.
Yeah.
I think all of us would be like penguin. Penguin.
Yeah, penguin, of course.
Oh,
Dory, when was the last time you went to Disney World and saw it?
I was there very recently. I was there a year ago this I was there a year ago this January because as a Broadway producer, the League every 2 years has conferences in Florida. And because Tom Schumacher was the head of the Broadway League, it was held the last time at Disney World. And we stayed at the Grand Floridian. And every single break, I would just take off on the monorail and head to, the different parks. And I went to I went to Muppet Vision 3D immediately. And it was just, flooded with memories. And that it's still there. We made it in 1991. It's still there. It's ridiculous. And going strong. And it was packed with people and it just felt so great. I just was watching the audience enjoy it, and it just meant the world.
It's cool. I mean, Dory, you know this, that this podcast is Disneyland and Broadway, or excuse me, Disney Parks, Disney World and Broadway. What, as someone that's an Imagineer and a Broadway producer, can you share with us how you think those two fandoms meet?
Well, it's dreaming. It's telling stories. Disney is all of the parks and everything they do. It's all about telling magical stories and transporting people. And that's what we do on Broadway, and it's dreaming, creating things that don't exist. And that's what, Disneyland was always for me growing up. And that's why I wanted to be part of it as an Imagineer. And that's, so much of the joy that I get from being part of the Broadway community.
I hear the story that we've spoken about, that my dream growing up was same thing, to be a Broadway director and be an Imagineer. And it's so similar in times. And often when I do direct, I'm thinking, like, as Leslie can attest to, I'm thinking Disney parks as I direct. It's like, yeah, just stand, use the lantern, shake a little more. And they're like, he's not the grave digger from Haunted Mansion. He's a Tony winning actor. I was like, oh, it's my bad. But it's really cool. I just saw someone wants to see the Muppets in the Prom, which
I think the Muppets should do a residency at the City Center for like a year. I think that's my
great idea.
There was at one time talk about a Muppet musical, and I was like, if I'm not in this, I can't. And then I don't know what happened, but I was like, that's genius. They should do something like a residency. That
they
would
have
be
to.
amazing.
Agree.
Leslie, between the Tangled musical, Leslie
Between
with the
the
Tangled musical, the Muppets musical. There was one more. Oh no, it's Muppets. Yeah, she's booked. I love it. And Angela, who's watching, just shared that she loves Disney parks and Broadway. And it's been really lovely on the receiving end of some of these comments of, there's Angela again, that we get to share our love of these two things. And I think it's a really great community to be part of. Dory, if you were going to the parks tomorrow, what's the first thing you would do? Besides put on a mask, social distance, all that stuff.
Well, I'd probably do something that I've never done. And it goes with a tiny story. When I was an Imagineer and my office was in Glendale with the Imagineers, there was always something happening there that they were inventing everywhere. And oftentimes you'd get pulled into things, just not knowing what you were going to get pulled into to see whether or not, they needed people and reactions and stuff like that. So there was one day when I got pulled into something and they said, Dory, come over here and just we want you to just go through this. And we're really curious to know what you think. So, these are important Imagineers and I'm like flattered they're asking me. So of course I did what they said and I walked up these stairs. And it was very makeshift and very raw, but it was like, well, this is going to be fascinating to see what this is. Well, it turns out it was the mock-up for the Tower of Terror. I still haven't recovered at all. And I have never been able to go on that ride because I've just been terrified because I think I'm traumatized by that experience. So I promised myself that the next time I go, I'm gonna do it.
You have to do Florida then, because
Yeah.
now it's Guardians at
Yeah.
but you gotta,
Was it Twilight Zone themed when you were shown the mock-up? Was it the Twilight Zone yet?
It wasn't. No. It was the original tower,
Wow.
and it was
it's
wasn't
frightening.
that designed. It wasn't like it was kind of like, held up with paper and glue. It was very rough. I'm still recovering.
Wow. That's so cool. I can't do
Unbelievable.
that right anymore, though. I'm with you, Dori. I mean, like, go
Really?
for it. I can't do
love
it
it.
anymore. I think I shared on a podcast. My screams went from like having a good time scream to like I'm actually terrified right now. It's too much. Well, Dori, thank you so much for coming on to this. You
My
are
pleasure.
so cool, and thank you for you with the Broadway Podcast Network and producing great shows and Imagineering great rides. I mean, you're killing it. Good job in life.
All right. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Dori.
Thank you. Take care.
Just pretend like that slide said goodbye.
You're welcome.
Totally.
Dori Berinstein.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I know,
Isn't
isn't
that cool?
nuts?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I'd be able to speak if I was at a lunch with Jim Henson. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I get really
No.
like weird.
What would you do?
I don't know.
You would need someone to just put their hand in you to make you talk.
Literally.
Right.
Is that too dark?
No, it's funny.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome, Leslie. Thanks.
What do you guys think? And maybe if we're done, I shouldn't be asking this question because it might open up a can of worms. I was just gonna ask, what do you guys think about the future of the Muppets in the Disney parks? And I was gonna ask Dori this question, but I am curious. But we also don't have to answer that question. You could say
Well, the future of the Muppets, I mean, is coming up on our screens very soon. I will point that out. But I think, and Leslie and I talked about this on her episode, when Disney acquired the Muppets and Star Wars, they didn't Disneyfy it, which sounds like a terrible word, but it's great. I think the Muppets fit.
Yeah.
I like him there.
I
agree.
wish there was more at the parks, honestly.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I know they're definitely like they just opened like the Sam Eagle restaurant and stuff. We're probably supposed to be done, but like I just
No, you're good. I'm laughing at our names.
oh. That's really good. But they just I think I don't know, but I remember reading a rumor that like they were gonna maybe like replace Figment with a Muppets thing, and I don't know. But
Oh yeah.
anyway.
I want
as
the fountain that is in front of Muppet Vision in my home.
Yeah.
The Miss Piggy fountain.
Yeah. It's perfect.
So as we're not quite done, but we're going to start wrapping up. One of our Patreon supporters, Mel, asks, "Why is Disney important to you?"
I think for me, like that's such a hard thing to answer, but it represents possibility.
Mm-hmm.
It represents magic, and I don't know. Every time I go, even as an adult, every single time I go, I feel like I can do anything. Like I'll be watching fireworks and be like, okay, whatever's happening in my life, I'll be like, no, I can do this. I can do it. I don't know what that is, but it might just be the it is the general message of dreaming and yeah, just the possibilities. I don't know.
I was going to say it's a reset to the childhood imagination, right? It's that. For me, it's unconditional love that when you see Mickey, it's like, he's going to be smiling and hugging you. Like you just know that's going to happen. But it's kind of a reset of like, I'm focused on fireworks over a castle right now. I always say like my love tank needs to be refilled, and every trip to Disney fills that love tank. Scooter, what about you? What does Disney mean to you?
Yeah.
Or why is it important to you?
Like part of it for me specifically definitely is that like for my family, like we practice unconditional love. Like that's like our biggest tenet, and we've always just like we're always the number one most important thing in our lives. And so it was a family thing, and so it's almost like a calling for us to go there and do that. And so even when I go by myself, I feel so connected with with my family and my, childhood that I'm still a little boy, but like, that just, that the escape of, you're right. Like it makes you feel like I can do anything. It refills the love tank. Like it is escape. It's theater, and it's the same muscle that loves theater. And I've said this on the podcast, but like it is theater just in a little bit of a different way, but it's getting to the same place. And yeah.
I always, when I've been fortunate enough to chat with some Imagineers and they ask why I want to be an Imagineer, I always say when I see a Broadway show, people often cross their arms and sit back, but on a Disney ride, people lean forward. They want to enjoy it. And it's
great.
There's something about that really gets to me. I said it on the episode actually with Miguel that just dropped last week. When I'm at the parks, it always feels like my family's just in the bathroom or getting a fast pass. That it's just because so much of it isn't changing. I'm going to be interviewing my dad, who went opening summer, and his brothers, and there's a lot of photos of him on the bridge to Frontierland and in front of the castle. And when I get to go stand in those spaces, it's like, oh yeah, this castle hasn't moved, right? Yeah. In 65 years. Whereas most other landmarks from our childhood do change. But that's also the magic of Broadway theaters, right? It's very similar. I love all these comments by people say, how much it means to them. And
very, very,
so
very
much.
true.
Yep.
It's totally there. I have a really cool brick in the Espelon that I bought in 2006. This is the Alpert family. It's C30 639. So every time I'm there, I always check it out. And one final question. Let's pretend like the three of us are going to Disneyland, and let's plot out some of our perfect day moments. Like we're going to be there for rope drop. We're probably going to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What else are the must-dos of that day?
We're in land. No, that's great.
We're in the OG.
I kind of have to hit all of them, and I Indiana Jones always.
Yeah, we have to go in Indy.
Always.
I usually end up spending a lot of time in New Orleans Square.
Cool.
So
get that clam chowder bowl.
Yeah, because you have Blue Bayou, which I love Blue Bayou. Pirate.
Okay, I have to say this. I went on Blue Bayou with my mom. It was so dark.
Yeah.
That I couldn't see. And it's so cool looking at the restaurant when you're on Pirates, but I couldn't see. So why don't we just go upstairs? We can go to Club 33.
Go to Club 33.
I was just going to ask.
Also in New Orleans Square.
Have we?
I have yet to go.
Leslie, have you been?
You
did go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some
What's
friends.
the coolest part of when you went?
Well, it was my husband's birthday, and our friends took us, and it was one of those things where you're like, I felt like the uncool kid at the club. I was like, I don't think I should be here. This is too much.
You're wearing a Miss Piggy costume.
No, it's beautiful, and it just felt. The odd thing is that it doesn't feel like Disneyland, which is I guess the only disappointing part of it is that it feels like a fancy restaurant and a cool bar, and you're like, oh, I kind of want a character to come up to me while I'm eating. That's the only weird part of it. But it's beautiful.
There's
it's beautiful, but
it's like a 5-course meal, and you're like, Pluto, not now. Or what if it's
Goofy? I swear.
Goofy, I swear to God.
With just the wine list, he's like, oh.
I will say Lizzie is pointing this out. It was the coolest thing on my episode with Eden Espinoza. She and I both turned 33 at Club 33. Yeah. And she shared it to me. She's like, yeah, I actually got to turn 33 there. And I did too. And it was the coolest, to the minute.
That's amazing.
Parents. And we got to have coffee on the balcony. And then with the window, if you go for lunch and the windows are open, that's during the day, people don't normally look into Club 33 because but at night when it lights up, you can see in. But I will tell you, having coffee on the balcony of Club 33, looking at the rivers of America, it's the coolest.
Wouldn't you like to live there?
Yeah.
Just live there and just that's your balcony. Yeah. You have to do that. Yeah.
Look, Owen is sharing Blue Bayou. They dropped the bread. Yeah, I believe you. I also think we should go on Snow White and push Andrew out as a sacrifice.
Yeah, there is a. That's the thing about Snow White is you have to make a sacrifice, a human sacrifice every time you go.
Yes, each time.
Yeah, every time.
So I just feel like Andrew, you would like meet the witch and like reason with her in a way that we couldn't.
Like, please, I'm begging you, don't
She'd
give
be
her
like,
the
okay.
apple. Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
We could do it.
Terrifying.
David,
And then,
have you done Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, David?
Oh yeah, I was in Disney World in 2016, and it was the moment when you see the dwarves like that marching up the side.
Yeah,
was
great.
the coolest thing. Julia, that's good. We want to bring
Yay.
happiness to the world.
That's all we want to do. That's great because then we'll do another hour.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah, the
another
mine
time.
train's great.
Yeah,
Mine
I
Train
love
is
Mine
really
Train.
cool. And listen, I Disney World is great as well. I know I tease it a lot. I just,
Yeah. Hey, understood.
like my
Totally
castles
different.
made out of stone.
Yeah.
I like them big, David.
Yeah, you like them big. Exactly.
I just like more of everything. And
Yeah.
that world has just more.
And
For
it's
sure.
still good. I mean, okay, each thing that's in, and I've been thinking about this since we discussed it, David, because each thing that's in Disneyland and Disney World is mostly better in Disneyland. Like,
Yes.
Pirates is better, Haunted Mansion is better, but there's more stuff that's better in Disney World.
I mean, like Animal Kingdom, Epcot.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom's a perfect
so cool.
park, I think.
Yeah,
And
Animal
Epcot's
Kingdom.
amazing. I love
really
it. I
cool.
didn't really appreciate Animal Kingdom until very recently.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just confused that like the animals are real.
Yeah.
have you
like-
have you done the like 3-hour safari early at like 6 a.m? It's
I've
no.
never done, no.
you have to do it. We've done it a couple times now. It's amazing. You get up, it's like 7:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And it's a 3-hour safari, but it's a special one, and they actually like take you out really close to the
I know what you're
animals.
talking
It's
about.
really amazing.
So it's a 3-hour tour.
It's a 3-hour tour, but you come back.
You do come back. You do come back. That's a Gilligan's Island reference for those of you
Gilligan's
born in 2000.
I know it. I know that one.
No, and I think like the cool thing of going to Disneyland, like none of us have gone with each other or Disney World, is you get to create new memories. And I think for those of us that have been so many times, it's always the challenge of like, hey, have you seen Bones on Indiana Jones? Like, I'm going to show you that this time. Or have you seen the Leprechaun house? Or have you seen this
What's the
hidden Mickey?
Leprechaun house?
Well, there's a book about a leprechaun at Disneyland. This came up on Eden's episode too, where there's a tree in Disneyland with PP and WD carved into a tree that I just don't want to reveal the secret for everyone.
Okay.
But I will tell you offline,
Okay.
just because I think there's some fun things to learn as you go. The leprechaun tree is found in Adventureland.
Okay. I didn't
It's a
know.
little house. Yeah, I didn't know until a couple years ago.
Wow.
But there was a book
Cool.
about it.
And I used to work in Adventureland. How
Oh yes, at Aladdin's Oasis.
Aladdin's Oasis.
Now
Aladdin's
you can drink.
Oasis.
Dinner theater.
Leslie, I have so many questions about Aladdin's Oasis.
Oh, I can tell you all the answers.
There is a photo of Leslie with a lot of princesses that was appropriate in the early 90s, not so much in 2020, but it's charming. It's charming. Everyone, this has been so much fun. I'll thank you to everyone watching. I want to make sure that everyone watching is following us on Instagram. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, please support Leslie and Andrew's work. Please send them love. Please also, if you can, donate to Gilana's fund. That link will be on the outro. And if you want to become a Patreon, there's cool perks like having an on-air interview, getting a one-on-one chat with me, if that's exciting. I know I'm not a fancy Broadway star, but I do know where the Leprechaun house is. and just other cool perks. And it's available at different price levels. And again, it all goes to help the podcast as well as Gilana's fund. Leslie, Andrew, any last words of wisdom about Disney parks?
Just enjoy it. Don't think too much about it.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet.
Don't go.
yet.
Yeah, don't go.
Don't go yet.
Wait till there's a
yeah.
vaccine and you get it, and then
we
go.
can go and continue.
Yes,
to go.
everyone should wear a mask. I tweeted this yesterday, but I'm fine to wait for the Avengers Campus and Mickey and Minnie's Railway and
We just want it to
all
be
the
safe.
changes. Just use that money to keep the cast members okay, except for make the changes to Snow White. That should be worked on now. But everything else, like, we really need to take care of each other, and cast members need to be taken care of financially.
Yeah. And also be excited about the Splash Mountain change. That's my other.
Yeah,
totally. We'll be excited
it's
about
really
it.
cool. Disneyland is not a museum. Disney World is not a museum. It must change. And it's really cool that the kids that aren't born yet, that how we can change the world with how they learn.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, what's really cool is, in addition to my new Jungle Cruise Funko Pop that came in the mail today, there it is.
It's so
because
good.
it was just released on Saturday and I bought it.
So amazing.
It's amazing.
You know, I haven't really looked. Is the gun in there?
Probably not.
No, it's
We
not.
both
Thank
at the
God.
same time, probably not.
But I also bought, it's over there in the box, but the red-headed pirate, because when I was a kid, it was the bridal auction. We wanted the redhead, and my sister Gilana and I, the red hair. And now she's this fierce pirate. And I just bought that Funko Pop, that it's cool that young girls going on it.
Yeah.
Totally get a different story.
Yeah.
So remember, like, the memories we can have, but we need to allow Disney and theater to shape and push our world forward.
Yeah.
Which is something Gilana's Fun stands for. That's a nice little wrap up.
I love that.
Leslie, I almost said Scooter again. Miss Piggy Scooter, thank you so much. Thank you to Dori who joined us. Make sure to go to the Broadway Podcast Network website. There's a lot of great podcasts. I know Leslie and Andrew, you've been on other of these great podcasts. Please support in this time, and we'll see you at the parks. Bye, everyone.
Yay,
Bye, guys.
Bye.